First, I will introduce sorna. It's called sorna, but here we call it zorna. We have lots of bottom in the organ, the church instrument, and some of them, they're very old, they have a zorna bottom. It's one of the reasons I have the project with kamancheh, with organ. Arqanun, it's called arqanun. It means organ actually. So this instrument from west of Iran, and also they play it in middle and south of Iran, even in India. There is everywhere they play this instrument. This music, when they play it with sorna and tombak or dol, with a big percussion they play, because this is really from outside.
Yes.
So because it's loud, they create an instrument called kamancheh. In historic kamancheh, folk kamancheh, it was with the three strings. So if we have three strings, this is equal of this instrument as an octave. It's just three strings. It's make equal with this instrument. Just with the holes. So if we count them as a note, so you have two octaves. When you push this, you have one octave. You have two octaves also here with the three strings. So the repertoire of maqam music, they were playing it with the kamancheh three strings. So if you see, I can show you very easy. So you have the bigger version of the sorna as an abali, and the folk music has their own repertoire, which is maqami. So there is a lot of different maqam. If I'm not wrong, kamancheh has 14 maqam, and 4 of them they are recent, like from 300 or 400 years ago. The difference between the two instruments is that, as you see, the backside of this instrument, I call it the belly, it's open. So you have a really pure sound, and it's louder. It's really loud. So the life of the Lak people in west of Iran, they use this instrument for dance, wedding, So when you play dance outside, so they didn't have microphone from that time, so they had to have some instrument to be also loud, or from inside the house. It's loud enough to, when we have 100 people, they dance, they had to hear it. So it's really loud when you tune it. They play some like folk music. But if I play with this one, it's a bit, it's very soft. It became something really soft. Because the backside is closed, and but if I will play at the same time like this, you hear. You feel it? Yeah. So this is the very surface different. It's a matter of the volume and the character of the sound. Because the music, the rhythm they play with this is really, it's connected completely to the nature. Like running off the horse, the dancing like that, like in 2/4. Like, or 4/4, so they play it, and it should sound like that, or with the character of the horses actually. Like, so they have all these characters. With this, it doesn't sound like that, You don't have that expression to show da 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 da. It's impossible. If we are 10 and I play, you don't hear it. So if we imagine kamancheh has 3 strings, like they are the tuner, so 1, 2, 3 strings. So we have one left, one right, one in the middle. So there is, if we imagine the bridge, you see, one middle, left, right. So there is a kind of balance on the skin. And with weather, so when I'm arriving inside the concert hall, I have different tunes, so I have to tune again. It's not like violin or cello, because we have, the bridge is stable on the wood, on the surface of the wood here, you know?
It should be really difficult to tune.
Always, with the skin. Actually, the percussion I show you, the tombak, they have the same. All the instruments they have, even the Baroque instrument is the same, because they have the gold strings. The gold is like, it's a skin, kind of a skin, you know. So with the heat, easily they're like, they're breaking. So I was researching about the kamancheh with 3 strings. Since violin and cello arrives in Iran, kamancheh was affected by another cultures, so they added strings. But for me, it was without thinking to add, because why cello has 4 strings, they had to add strings on the kamancheh, or violin or viola. They had to do this. It was not necessary, but so they did, and they add a system of cello here.
Was it to have higher notes or lower notes?
Lower note. Yeah, lower note they add. And unfortunately they went to that direction. Even the tonality, the tune like mi, the first strings, la, and then D, like re, and then G, sol. I said it's affected in different side actually. So even they use the system of cello as like a stick, as a feet with a screw. I removed that. So this kamancheh and the other one I show you, I don't have this. So my kamancheh is built by a luthier who is called Mr. Karbalai, Maziar Karbalai. He was a luthier, like kamancheh maker from one of our biggest master in Iran. It's called Ali Asghar Bahari. He was the only kamancheh player of the time, actually. So I asked him, can you do this? He says it's difficult, but he did it. So we had a piece here, which is I remove also. We had a piece because of when they add this system of cello, so they had to make a hole until here inside the neck, because that system came until here, so it's extra metal. And then you have the thunder, so you have the screw, which is in the classical world. They added just for children. They didn't have possibility and power to change the tune, so they add small things, you know, just to tune. If you can see in the soloist of the symphony, they don't have that because it's not necessary. Because when you tune by here, the tension you have from here to the bridge is different tension from the bridge to this part. Yeah. So when you tune by here, you have one tension approximately. So I researched. I thought, okay, I don't need to go past to the culture, to the tradition, because I'm living in 2023. So it's not necessary to go back to go to the third string. So I thought the third has a balance 1, 2, third, because there is balance on the skin. So but now we have 4. There is no balance because they have different tuning. So if I tune D, A, D, G, it's like that. Pressure, 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 less pressure. So I have this. But if I explain you just with the bridge, it's like a foundation of the building. So from this part to this part, you can imagine these 2 sides of the bridge. That's why I'm talking about the balance, because of these 2 parts. So I add 1, which is the fifth, because I tune the first and the last the same. So I have the balance, and I have more resonance actually.
It is 1 octave lower?
Lower
Okay.
of that, 2.
2 octaves.
Yes. So this was one reason I removed the extra affected with the Western instrument. It was not necessary. It can be, but why? It's a question. Because when you have extra piece on the belly, this piece of wood, something with this size, it's coming on top of this belly. And then you have all this extra metal inside the belly. First of all, it's heavy. Second of all, when you have something like this sticking on the belly of your kamancheh, it's taking a lot of sound. So the sound I have with this instrument, it's really free. It's completely, I have more resonance, and I have, you can hear it, but still, I have it. You see?
Yeah.
Why? Because the belly is free completely, and the sound is turning. Because when they add that wood, they add also a screw to hold it, and they use a lot of glue. So now it's working without that, you know. So the old people, they had, I think they know something. That's why they didn't add that. There's so many different kamancheh. Actually, in Turkey, they changed the face of, even they add the neck of violin on it. So it completely became something else. In Syria, I saw the Kurdish side of the Syria. I saw the kamancheh with 3 strings, but we have kamancheh still with 2 strings in China, in the Korea, and there is so many different faces. And I didn't talk to the luthier why they did that.